Okay. I was just thinking about this. I'm listening to a guy, and he was talking about how he's a misfit, and growing up he was too black for the white kids, too white for the black kids, too not this and not that. And he was like, growing up, I couldn't find which group I belonged to because I was not enough here and not enough there. And it made me think that as I grew up and still currently, like, I never tried to fit in no group, but I was in every group. I didn't care which group I was in because I was fine by myself. So I literally went to every group, hung out with them. I'm not saying that I was friends with all of them or any one of them, but I don't have to be just if we're all in the same room and or the classroom, I still just go over there. Like it was nothing to just go sit with the gothic group with all the chains and stuff like that, or go sit with the band group, or go sit with, because looking back at it now, listening to him, I never wanted to be a part of your group. Now, don't get me wrong. Does it mean that I didn't want friends? But I knew, I didn't know then, but I know it never bothered me. And and God protected me on the other end of, I never got bullied. I'm not saying that people didn't talk about me. I have no idea if they did or did not, but it was never brought to my attention. But what I realized listening to my friends and people like him, they were bullied. And so the question is, were you bullied because, you trying to fit over here, and because they have this criteria, even though we're freaking kids, so what kind of criteria do you have? You don't fit it, so they see your eagerness to fit in. And so therefore, like a person like me, I'm not trying to fit in. I might hang out with your group today, and then tomorrow I don't really care. I might sit at the lunch table by myself and be totally fine. I'm not sitting there like, man, ain't nobody sitting next to me. I've never really cared, but I've never thought about it up until now that God protected me from being bullied. I don't know how I would have reacted if I was bullied. A lot of people have came out on the other end, and it's probably, I think it's split down the middle, that if you were bullied, you either became a bully yourself, or you are out here helping others because you know how that feels. But on me, I didn't have that. And it shows in my degree that I chose, which was interdisciplinary studies. Of, I can't choose one because I don't want to just be a part of college business. I want to know about education. I want to know about psychology and sociology. I want to know about anthropology. I want to know about um, the arts, and all the things, because I don't want to be a part of just one group. Because if you're able to, it's like, now that I'm thinking about it, it's like if I'm part of one group, then I can't, like, to me, I can't ever grow. And he made a statement like, that's how you know you're original, because when you don't fit in anywhere, don't let that bother you, because that means you're original. Because if you are fitting in a group, that means you are like someone else. But God made each and every one of us original to his copy. And so therefore, if you're listening to this and you're trying to be a part of the soccer mom group, forget about it. Stop stressing yourself out trying to have 24 cupcakes when you're not that person. You don't know that one thing about baking. Don't mean not to try, but don't stress yourself out about it. Okay? Or if you're in school and majority of your friends are playing basketball, but you don't really care for basketball, you like soccer, doesn't mean they should not be your friends. And if someone does not want to be your friend because you don't do a certain thing like them, then they're not your friend. And learn that early. So therefore, as you get older, as you grow and become adult, you do not rely on others. You only rely on one person, and that's Jesus. But until you get to that point, don't rely on others. Be your own person. You are unique. God made you that way. You are original. And so when you don't fit into any group that you are trying to go into, don't worry about it. You do your thing when you're in that season. If you like in choir group, you do your thing in there. And then if next year you don't want to be a part of it, you want to try the band, do it. It's okay. Try it all. While you have the time, try it all, man. Because then you'll know as you get older which one you would like to give a little bit more time to. While you in school, try it all, okay? But I just thought about like how some people, it still works out at the end on both, whether you was the person that felt low or depressed that you were not part of the group in school, especially high school. And then you have a person like me that I don't care if I'm a part of any of your group, but that doesn't mean that I'm not hanging out with all these people, even the nerds, like even the people that, you go to their house, you know what I mean? It might be this kind of culture. It never scared me away. I was always open to be like, well, let's see what they talking about. And so both ends, even though they are both extreme ends, we both meet in the middle to get an understanding that we are original. And therefore, that's why as we were coming up as children and through our 20s and maybe even in our 30s, that we just couldn't seem to fit in the box. It's because God made us to be outside of the box. God made us to be outside of the box. We are original. Because us being original, that's how we can be creative. He is the creator and we are his creatives, and we are out here doing his original plan. So therefore, we cannot be like any others. We can take things from this group, take things from this, learn from this, learn from this, learn from this. But our personality that he created, that he meshed up, that he put everything in, we are original. And therefore, don't feel bad about being pushed out the box, because you were made to stand out. You were made to be outside the box. And therefore, if we all understand that, the world will eventually be a better place instead of us trying to fit in, because that creates performance anxiety and such and such. But when we understand we are original, we are his original design, uniquely for us, for me, for you. You are not supposed to be like me. The only person we're supposed to be like is Jesus. And he knows exactly, because of how your character, your integrity, your personality is. That's why you listen to him. You follow what he has to say, because he the one that made you. I didn't. Your mama didn't. Your daddy didn't. None of those folk did. The creator, Big C, did. So know this. Once again, you are made. I am made to be outside the box. So go out and be unique. Don't worry about fitting in. Just worry about, or not worry about, but be concerned and have compassionate to serve others as well as they shall serve you. And everything gonna be all right. Everything gonna be all right.